In order for the Junction City Land Bank. First item is new business, consideration of land bank minutes for September 17, 2019. Any questions or comments?
Make a motion, we approve the land bank meeting minutes from September 17th.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion or comment? All in favor of the motion respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. Trustee Albritton is out of town tonight. Our next item is consideration of land bank lot rebate upon construction and occupancy.
Mr. Chairman and trustees, last meeting was talked about a little bit, gave it some thought and a little conversation with Lance. Basically is that the land bank lots would sell for $5,000 a lot. And if the buyer purchased more than one lot, the rebate would only apply to one lot. So like what we have with the school district where they can buy a lot for $1,000 if they're an employee of the school district. If they buy a second or third lot, they pay them at $5,000 apiece. And we've had some of those do that already. And this would be to one lot, and if they would build a home there and have a certificate of occupancy within 1 year, they would receive a $4,000 rebate. In 2 years, that would drop to $3,000. I don't, we talked about at one time maybe going longer. I think that probably is not worthwhile doing. I think the whole idea behind the rebate is to encourage building now or sooner than later. So I think that would be an emphasis doing so. So if you built in the first year, you get $4,000 back, second $3,000. Britton and I talked briefly. If we want to move forward with this, we'll probably want to do a resolution.
I think if we're going to do a policy, and land bank is still kind of a new area. Luckily, there's not, good and bad, there's not a lot of case law defining it, but I think as a public committee, essentially, having a resolution, more than just in the minutes would be good, just that way we can establish this is what our policy is.
Well, I argue we're a quasi-municipality, so,
Yeah.
yeah, fit in that place there. Some people, like the idea, but I do think it has its merit in there to encourage people to not only buy the lot. We've talked about the lots we sell to school teachers for $1,000. They can sit them for a long time, and there's no guarantee I'm not saying anybody's doing that, but they could do that, and then sell them at a later point and make profit on it. This way, it encourages you to buy the lot, to turn around and build something right away. And from a city standpoint, we'll initially get all the fees for construction permits. And then sooner or later, it goes to the taxes, of course. And at that point in time, the taxes, of course, granted, we're only 28% of the property taxes, but still, it starts at the value. And then people are in there and using everything else. I think, and like I said, I'd prefer to only do it just one lot, kind of like we did the school. So you buy 3 lots, you only get one rebate, and or $1,000, $2,000, or $4,000 and $5,000 or $3,000, depending on the year, but only per one lot, only one lot. So if you bought 2 lots, your essence, you build in 1 year, your net cost be $6,000, identical to what the teachers have. And that way, you keep them on some parity that way.
I think this levels the playing field for every other person around to be able to do that isn't a USD 475 employee. I think it's more equitable, and it does encourage people to build.
It's a little different from the standpoint they do have to put the cash outlay.
Do we have to specify that they pay closing costs as well?
Yeah, we put that all in the agreement
That's all.
then. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking you had. So.
Can I ask, do we have expenses? Like, does the land bank pay for the mowing of the lots?
Yes, right now.
And are we generating, what do we have in that account right now? And is it sufficient, or do we need to make, and I'm just saying, instead of 4,000, make it 3,500, where 500 goes to the land bank, so we have some money to renew. We have some money to renew the costs for the expenses for mowing and whatever other things that we've got going on. I'm just
Cash is
asking,
right
I'm
now.
wondering.
We're getting that back through property tax
I'm
increase. by
guessing we're
improvement.
going to be in that. We probably have 100,000 in the bank. That's a guess right now.
I would say close to 150.
Yeah.
150?
150.
150.
150.
And we already paid for all the electrical installation out there.
Yes.
But see, we sold a lot of those lots too already. And so we got a lot of money back pretty well. Yeah, it's going to be in that range. When the land bank first started, up until the land bank started, the general fund paid for all the mowing. And then when we started selling a couple land bank lots, well, the first big injection of cash was for the easement.
Right.
And then, former finance director, and wise move, and I agree totally, we started paying for it out of the land bank, those costs. Which moved it out of the general fund a little bit, which took some tax pressure off. Bottom line is there's gonna be costs out there to mow. We always get to argue we don't mow enough. I mean,
We just do 8 feet, right? From back from the street.
we basically
8 feet back
mow
from
the
the
8
street.
feet in the public right of way,
Right.
give or take a little bit.
Sure.
Be nice if we could do more, but then you'd be hitting the general fund big time. I mean, you could easily spend, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 mowing easily. Then you start getting to $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, that'd be 3, 4, 5 mills, and that'd be a wreck too.
I like the $4,000 rebate because it kind of addresses some of your concern when we did this USD 475 thing that, it wasn't equal for everybody. So this way, it makes it an incentive to build and kind of makes it, whether a city employee or a police officer or any Joe Schmo wanted to buy a house or buy a lot, they could buy it for the same as what the teachers can.
My two thoughts on when you're doing a resolution, and Alan, you said applies to one lot. So if I bought one lot, it would apply to me, but then what's the time frame if I buy another lot some other time? Is that something that needs to be stipulated?
Well, you're gonna buy, so you're saying you buy lot A,
Yeah.
and then you buy lot B right beside it?
Or no,
Well, you're not-
somewhere, or,
Well, but if you want to build 5 houses, if you want to buy a house, build a house, and sell it as a spec home per se, or whatever the case would be, I'm not sure that'd be a problem, because now you're building there and putting in their structure over there.
'cause
So if you want to build 3 houses, I'm not sure, I don't see it as an issue. Because now we have 3 houses on the value, and we have
I'm just
3
going
houses.
by what you said applies to.
I meant in a group like we have with the teachers, for example. They get one lot, but on this kind of deal, if I was to be buying a land bank lot, I'd buy 2. I mean, I get 100 and some foot of width. I can really have a nice lot in there and have play area. And you notice, probably half the lots that lands has sold has been to the people that already had a lot, and they wanted the additional lot for more breathing room. And, we have that luxury of being able to do that. I could see, if I was going to go buy a lot today, I'd buy 2 and get my rebate, if we had rebate in place. And so now I have 2 lots for a total of $6,000 bargain.
I'd recommend finding a contractor and a house plan pretty fast because contractors are tough to come by.
Yeah.
They're already busy, so
Yeah.
if you want to get that rebate within a year, you better have that lined up first.
My other question then would be individual or builder? Is there going to be a stipulation between?
I don't see why you wouldn't want to let a builder do it.
Well, I mean, if a builder wanted 5 lots or 10
Well,
lots.
I think what we're going to see happen at some point in time, hasn't happened yet, but, we've had one builder buy a chunk of lots, but we actually didn't clear much of those because we paid that electric cost. I think multiple lots are still got to be treated maybe case to case, because if you have a builder that wants 20 lots, maybe to do and I can see this happening, especially in some of the subdivisions, is that a builder may want 20, 30 lots to do something over the next 3 to 5 years.
To me, this is a per-person thing, just like we
Yeah.
do with the school district.
Okay, yeah.
It's a one-time deal per
Okay.
person, that's
So
it.
it'd stay away.
Yeah.
And like I said,
I think you open up a big can of worms when you do that.
right,
If you go away from that.
okay. I mean, I
I
just,
think it cleans it up. It's a one-time
Totally.
deal, just like we do with the school district, and that's it. If you want to buy the lot next door, it's $5,000. Simple.
That's all I have.
it matches up to the other program. That's what,
Any
If
other
you were-
questions?
We'll have
So I'll have them write up a resolution and have the next meeting.
sounds good.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor of the motion, respond by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We'll see you at 7.